Okay, so I'm here today with Mikey Cox from Concord University, and he works for Concord as their men and women's track and field. He's their head coach, and he's also involved as an instructor there at Concord as well. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Happy to be here.
Well, I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and we'll start out by what does a typical day look like for you at Concord? What do you do every day?
Usually, typically be here, about 7:30 after dropping the kids off at school. Usually do a workout myself. Then I get in the office and then start looking at basically the day's workouts. Since I'm not teaching class this semester, kind of looking at, what everybody's going to do for the day and for the workout and where we're going to meet. And then typically we'll start recruiting, it's usually sending emails. There's usually paperwork with stuff with class excuses or, getting hotel rooms for meets, getting the schedule together. And then sometimes we'll actually even do like earlier practices for some people who have class during practice time. So I'll go out and meet with them and do their workout with them throughout the day. And then practices is at 3:00 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3:30 on Tuesday, Thursday. And then we're lifting on Monday, Wednesday with a group at 5. And then we're lifting with another group on Tuesday, Thursday at 5. So usually wrap up around 6:00, every day, somewhere around there.
So what is the season? Is it like fall, spring, or I guess you stay busy all year with it pretty much?
Yeah, we basically have 3 seasons with, when COVID, before COVID, and hopefully in the future, it will be a fall cross-country season in the fall, typically running from, the season will go from August to November, and then our indoor season runs basically from August to, November to February, and then our outdoor season runs basically from the 1st of March to mid-May.
Right. So my next question says, what led you to this career path? Well, anybody that knows you knows you're a runner. So I would assume that your love for running probably had a lot to do with it.
Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I just kind of fell into this position as a coach. I started here actually as a full-time teacher, and the coach that was coaching before me basically said he didn't want to do it anymore and was wanting to pass that down. And I basically kind of just stepped into that, got to step into the position basically that way. And I just slowly went from full-time teaching to where, really I'm just teaching, 1 or 2 classes and mainly coaching, obviously.
Right. So what kind of school or background if someone is interested in like a coaching career, what would you recommend to high school students if that's their passion, they want to do something in the coaching area? What do they need to do?
They even have some some coaching majors out there at some universities. I went to Virginia Tech. I studied exercise science in my undergraduate degree, and then my master's was in health promotion. And a lot of the coaching positions will prefer a master's degree for the coaching position, but it's definitely not a must. But you could really major in anything as long as you had you had a lot of knowledge about the sport. Basically, but I would say typically going into something like that, like a sports management, an exercise phys or something like that, would be a good option.
Be helpful for sure. So tell us, when dealing with your career, what do you think is the most challenging thing or a challenging aspect of your job?
Just recruiting. I mean, that's the that's, if you don't have athletes, you can't coach them. So that's probably the most important and the most challenging.
Do y'all get mostly locals, or you have to recruit out of the area mostly?
We typically get most of our athletes from Virginia and West Virginia, mainly, but we have some from Tennessee, Ohio, even international. We have a couple of girls from the Bahamas. So it definitely varies, but I'd say the majority is Virginia, West Virginia for sure.
Right. So, what would be a rewarding aspect about your career? Something you could share with students?
Yeah, just watching kids, grow and learn, both in the classroom and on, in the sport, in their field, whether they're track or cross country or both. Just watching them improve is what what it's all about for me.
Right. And give us some advice for high school students today. What would you tell them? Whether it's in careers or just life advice in general.
Yeah, just be consistent and work hard. I think it's hard to find people who are willing to work hard these days. So setting yourself above others by just being willing to work and with a positive attitude, and there'll be setbacks, but just keep plugging away and keep setting goals and trying to reach those goals.
I think that's great advice. And I want to just thank you for just taking a little bit of time out of your day to share with us about your career and a little bit of background with that. We appreciate you so much.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Thank you.
You're welcome.